Hey guys, it's Kelly and welcome back to our channel. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that's honestly super hard for me to talk about. So today I'm going to be doing a video fully on my birth control story, why I got on it, and why I'm getting off birth control. One thing I want to stress is that if you are a family member or a close friend, we are not trying to get pregnant. We are still being safe. And also I'd really recommend you not watching this video because I don't know, I feel like you would then know way too much about me. So yeah. So also I would like to stress that if you do not like conversations about these things that are very controversial, honestly, I really would not recommend you watching this video because obviously this is my story and I would really appreciate absolutely no comments down below about like hatefulness of like different things like that. It's my body, it's my choice, it's my husband and I's choice. So yeah, so I'm gonna get straight on into this video because I feel like it's going to be a long one and I don't want this video to be longer just based off of me not getting to the point, you know? Also, I wrote everything down so that way I stay on topic because I have a very big tendency of going completely off topic. So I started my period when I was 12, about to turn 13. I don't know why I remember this, but I started my period July 21st, 2010, which is absolutely insane because it's 2020, so it's been 10 years. But yeah, so I started my period right before I turned 13, so I was 12. So I started my period when I was 13, pretty much, and I had very bad periods. I instantly would bleed so much, TMI, but yeah, my periods were terrible. I had terrible cramps and they also were consistent, which is not very common that I'm now learning. My periods, I've literally never missed a period. I've had one every single month for the past 10 years. So yeah, I guess my body works, but still, it was the worst. So my periods were so bad that the first 2 days I would either miss school or be sent home from school because I literally always felt like I was going to faint. Like I was losing so much blood that I couldn't stand up, that like it just, I don't know, it just made me feel like I was dying. Like those first 2 days I was pretty much a zombie, but then I also had heavy bleeding for the first 4 to 5 days of my period. I cannot remember for the life of me how long my periods were before birth control. I know it was over 7 days because the first 4 to 5 days were really heavy bleeding, and then I remember I would have like lighter days which were fine, but the first 4 to 5 days, but mostly the first 2 days, were absolutely terrible and I could not get out of bed. So after my periods were really bad, I'm sorry if this video is already jumbled up, I just want to reiterate, my periods were so bad that I couldn't get out of bed and I would bleed really heavy for 4 to 5 days and it was just terrible. It would suck the life out of me and it was every single month. Never missed a period. But yeah, so then when I was 16, almost 17, I got on birth control. My mom took me to the OBGYN for my first time and they immediately put me on birth control. They really didn't give me an option or really tell me what birth control really was. I feel like it was because I was only 16, 17 that they didn't really stress to me what birth control was, what it did to my body, and everything in between. Also, I really want to add that I was not sexually active, so I didn't really understand why I was put on birth control when I just had bad periods. But then I found out on my own, which is crazy because I feel like a doctor should have told me that it was because of my periods. Like I couldn't put them together. It didn't make sense in my head to be on birth control when I wasn't planning on getting pregnant or even like partaking in getting pregnant things. So when I first started that pill, obviously there was a transition period of like the first 3 months, but then my periods were literally amazing. I went from not being able to go to school because I couldn't get out of bed to being able to go to school and just partake in normal livelihood. Like it was crazy. I still had very heavy periods and still minor cramps, definitely on the first 2 days, but overall it was crazy. It was like a light switch of like, wow, I can live my life and that's great. I don't think I had any major issues with that pill. I know that I gained a lot of weight. I can't say that that was 100% the pill. I also was not diagnosed with celiac disease before this, so keep that in mind. So that pill did a lot for me, and it helped my cramps and my bleeding and literally everything else up until last year, which was 2019. So I was on that pill for a pretty long time, like I'm gonna say 5 years, because I've been on it for 6 years. So yeah, I was on that pill for 5 years, and it was amazing up until 2019, and my cramps started getting really bad, and or not like really bad, like minor, and also my bleeding was really bad. Like I was bleeding a ton, and like I would never have to stay in bed, but it would always feel like I was lightheaded. So I like mentioned it to my gynecologist, and she suggested that I change my pill, just because like I was getting married and I didn't want to have all these issues, foreshadowing, and like obviously like my first year of marriage, my marriage, like, you know, whatever, you don't want all these issues. So she changed my pill and switched me to a different pill May of 2019, which also was the year I got married, or the month I got married, and I immediately had terrible side effects, like absolutely terrible side effects. I cannot remember what pill it was. It was pretty much a pill that was supposed to stop my period. I didn't have any of those sugar pills or anything, and I don't know why, but it was like a life-changing situation. Like I was like an out-of-body experience. And also like I was only on that pill for like 4 months, and I know that there's a transition period, but that pill got to a point where I was actually suicidal, and I had absolutely no idea why. Like there was nothing going wrong in my life. Like I had just got married, I had all these amazing things happening, and I was so depressed. Like I don't want to use that word lightly, because I've never been depressed in my life, but that pill changed me so much that I just stopped taking it. I stopped taking it in like September, and I couldn't get an OB/GYN appointment out here until October, so I wasn't on a pill for like a month, maybe not. I think I stopped it in September. Like September was my last month, so like October, like those 17 days when I was waiting for a pill, that's when I didn't have a pill, and that was fine, whatever. But I swear that pill changed me so much. I was never happy. I would cry randomly, and like obviously I moved across the country, so that could have had an effect as well, but it was insane. Like I hated that pill. That pill was the worst. Aside from me feeling like suicidal, I also had a lot of weight gain, and I had very bad insomnia. I used to have really bad insomnia growing up, but that's fine, like whatever. I got out of that, and I started sleeping better. But then I was up until like 5 a.m. every night, and I would sleep until 8 p.m. And it wasn't even like I was trying to stay awake. I was just laying in bed staring at the ceiling, so obviously that's an issue. And then also I had really bad migraines. I get normal migraines, so it's not something that I was like, oh, this is a concern. But my migraines were definitely worse back then, and I also was taking so much medication to like help my body, and it wasn't doing anything. So then October of 2019, I got on my last pill, which is the pill that I just stopped, and it wasn't bad. I didn't have terrible side effects like the last one. It kind of helped me a lot, but I still had migraines, I still had very heavy bleeding, and I had bad cramps and still insomnia. I don't know why insomnia was like a trigger, but like I had to take sleeping medication for so long, like 6 months, without realizing like this is an issue. Like I should be able to sleep. Like I'm tired, and then once it's 9 p.m. I couldn't fall asleep. Like I'd be tired all day, and it like I'd wake up at a random time. Yeah, back in January/February of 2020, this year, COVID year, I don't know how that was so long ago, but whatever. I went back to my OB/GYN because my cramps were so bad, and all these other things that I listed already were already so bad that I was just saying like, I don't know what to do. Like I don't think that this pill is working for me. I don't think that the birth control pill will work for me at all, and I was taking an unhealthy amount of painkillers and everything over the counter that I just did not feel safe anymore. Like, I felt so weird taking birth control and also a ton of Advil, ibuprofen, Tylenol, everything. It just felt insane. So I talked to her and she suggested that I stay on the pill and that she prescribes me an ibuprofen tablet that I take 3 times a day, every single day of the month. Because my cramps were so bad throughout the entire month that she was like, oh, this will be pain management. And I'm just like, I was like, okay, whatever, I guess that will work. So obviously it worked because it was a huge tablet. I think it was like 800 milliliters or 600 milliliters of ibuprofen that I was taking 3 times a day. Like, obviously that's not gonna give me pains, but you know. So this was fine, whatever. Like, I was like, okay, I guess I'll take this. I was literally going to Walgreens every 3 weeks to pick up a new prescription of ibuprofen, which is insane to me, but whatever. I was doing that and taking my birth control pill, and it was fine. Like, I obviously still had pretty bad bleeding because that doesn't change anything. And my cramps were okay. Like, I still had to sleep with a heating pad every single night, but whatever. So then in June this month, I am like 99% sure I got a stomach ulcer from the amount of ibuprofen I've been taking. I've had a stomach ulcer in the past when I had my gallbladder removed. I also had a stomach ulcer. So I already knew like how to take care of it, and then it wasn't that serious to go to the ER because obviously right now I'm terrified to go to the doctor. I'm not going unless it's something that's like, oh, my leg's broken, because like, I don't know, I don't want to get COVID. So then I was talking to one of my friends who recently got off the pill for a completely different reason than health and is actually trying to conceive, and I'm so excited for her. But I was just talking to her and she was like, Kelly, have you ever thought of getting off the pill? Like, what if there's something else that can work for you? And I was like, you know, like, I actually was thinking about it, but my doctor said like all these different things, and she was like, it sounds like your doctor is just trying to like put a band-aid over your hurt and like not actually fix what's broken or fix what's hurting and everything like that. And I kind of like started to think about it like that. I sat down with my husband because obviously I can obviously make this decision fully for myself and by myself. I decided to sit down with Brendan because obviously I can make this decision by myself because it's my body, but birth control does help us not get pregnant, you know? So I wanted to sit down with my husband and just explain to him why I want to get off the birth control pill, and if he had any doubts about it, anything, and if he would like me to stay on it, pretty much. And we both decided that no, he would rather me try and fix what's actually wrong than like mask it, because I feel like that's all I'm doing. I feel like all I'm doing is putting masking tape and just hoping for the best. And I don't know, like, it terrifies me to like let this continue going on, and like, what if one day we can't have kids because like all of these problems weren't fixed or whatever. Like, what if it's actually a simple issue that can be fixed, or like, you know, I don't know. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm getting off of birth control and focusing on my health. So with that, I wanted to say what I'm actually going to be doing. I'm gonna be taking vitamins just to like reset my body and just help my body cleanse. I'm taking a woman's multivitamin, I'm taking a probiotic, and just a few other things that I'm actually going to be talking about in Friday's video. So yeah, and then also for my diet, I'm just trying to eat more whole foods and more organic foods, like organic chicken, organic meat, organic vegetables, and everything like that, just so that way I'm not putting anything extra into my body. And I know that most organic foods are better for you anyway, so you know, it's whatever. Also, I just want to add in here what we're doing for birth control now. We are going to be using condoms, and also I'm gonna be starting to check my ovulation, just because I don't know when I ovulate. I don't know when people ovulate, so I'm gonna order like those ovulation strips off Amazon just to like take them every day of the month and just figure out when I ovulate, because that's something that I know can help us with preventing babies. One thing I really wanted to stress is that we are married, so I feel a little bit better getting off of birth control, because we're married. Like, if we did mess up and we got pregnant, it wouldn't be like the end of the world. We are not trying to get pregnant in any way, shape, or form. We would really like to not get pregnant right now, but you know, if it like happened, it would be like God's plan, not trying for it. Nope. But I feel like that's why I'm now like, you know, like getting off birth control for my health is a lot more important than like, what if I get pregnant, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to stress that. So I'm actually gonna be making this into a little series. I'm gonna be doing these once a month and just explaining to you guys my symptoms and everything that's happening with my body, just because I want to bring you along with this journey, and just in case some of you guys want to get off birth control or have been thinking about it and want to know what somebody's experience with birth control is and why they're getting off birth control and everything in between. So yeah, I want to give you guys my honest experience of getting off of birth control and just be more open and honest with you guys, because it's 2020. We should just be able to talk about these things and not feel awkward about them. So yeah, but yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and I loved talking to you guys, and I will see you guys on Friday. Bye guys.